welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, 22nd October 2018. I'm Yvette Boynes with the details. The Ministry of Housing will be distributing 110 house plots to residents in North Windward on Independence Day. This was announced today by Minister of Housing Montgomery Daniel at a news conference. The distribution will take place at the Chateau Park as part of the main event of the inaugural MADUNGO Festival. The persons to be relocated are those who were affected by the December floods, as well as squatters who occupy lands at the Chateau National Park. They will all be resettled at Orange Hill.
The lots that will be distributed, you would have lots distributed to those persons who suffered in the disasters last year. If you can recall, in December last year, Sandy Bay had a terrible disaster where a number of houses were washed away. Some 9 families at the time were homeless, and other houses were destroyed as well. So a number of these individuals would be getting, a number of these families will be getting back housing lots. Equally, you have a number of squatters who would have squatted on lands that are for the Chateau National Park, and they too will be removed in due course, and so we are making lots available for them and for other persons who have been recommended to the ministry for housing lots. Those are how their lots more or less would be distributed.
Daniel said the recipients of the lots are being informed so that they could be present at Saturday's ceremony to receive their respective house lots. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves will make the presentation. Minister Daniel explained why it was decided to distribute the house lots during the inaugural MADUNGO Festival.
We wanted to make that even one that is historical to the extent whereby that we bring in a lot of persons to give support to the festival. And so one of the ways, of course, that the ministry would have thought of giving full support to this festival is to distribute 110 lots to people in that area where a number of young people can now be truly independent. We know for a fact that there are a number of young people who are there who are seeking housing, and so we thought it can be a good thing to twin the distribution of those lots together with ensuring that the MADUNGO Festival is a success and a reality.
The inaugural MADUNGO Festival is slated for Independence Day at the Chateau National Park at Rabaka. It will be held under the theme, Eat What You Grow, Eat What You Know, Let's Go with MADUNGO. The Ministry of Housing is collaborating with the Arrowroot Industry Association to put on the festival to bring greater awareness about arrowroot, its byproducts and consumption. Minister of Housing and Parliamentary Representative for North Windward, Montgomery Daniel, explained that this constituency is known for the cultivation of arrowroot, and they thought it necessary to celebrate that with a festival.
With the MADUNGO Festival, this is one way that we are hoping to create a local market that will be able to sell a lot of the arrowroot starch, and one whereby that you can have the different products coming from the arrowroot starch. You can also have the more important delicacies.
Manager of the Arrowroot Industry Association, Selmon Walters, said that there will be a sale of the byproducts of arrowroot as well as some giveaways by Hyroon, who has partnered with the festival organizers.
Kingstown, I want you to head for Rabaka. Those of you who would go up to the trail of the volcano, or you would go to the Owe Salt Pan in Oya, whatever you do on Independence Day, when you're finished, head for Chateau National Park, where you would see the display that would come out of the MADUNGO. We will be doing the fried and baked MADUNGO, which will be served with fried fish or a buljo. We'll be doing the fungi, which would be served with a fish broth. And a lot of people are not too knowledgeable of what this fungi is and how it is prepared. The older folks are the ones who did it when we were young people. And it is coming back. And I want to, at the festival, there'll be a bar, there'll be 2 bars. People can purchase whatever drinks they want. And the Highland Brewery would be on hand as well, and they'll be doing some giveaways. And I want to thank them for giving us their support as we establish this MADUNGO festival.
The official opening will be at 3 p.m. However, the display and sale of food products will start by midday. The association is hoping to have the festival annually. A section of the Jacks Wall in Rathamill collapsed last night, causing the police to cordon off the area and divert traffic. However, based on engineering assessment, they advised the Ministry of Transport to reopen to vehicular traffic, and Minister of Transport Julian said plans are on the way to rebuild that portion of the wall with reinforced concrete structures. Larissa Pugsley Kidd has more.
Around 9 o'clock last night, a large portion of the northern stone wall above the driveway of Alex Jack's residence at Rathamill collapsed. No one was injured, and while the main highway was not affected, the police took no chance and immediately cordoned off the area. Minister of Transport Julian was on the scene last night and this morning, and with the advice of local engineers, has since made an assessment. They have agreed to reopen to vehicular traffic as the wall that is on the highway does not pose a danger to lives.
We closed off the road in abundance of caution because we wanted this professional opinion on the wall this morning. We visited and spent well over an hour and a half out there this morning, and there's absolutely no cause for concern on the main wall. There's no evidence to show that that wall has been compromised and that there is any threat of it coming down. The weeper holes, which are obvious to everybody who passes by there, are functioning, and I've been advised by senior engineer and other engineers that once we see weeper holes are running like that, it means that the wall is functioning properly. But they inspected the entire wall outside, and we actually got access into the yard of the premises and inspected the wall along the top, from one end of the wall to the other end of the wall, and we are satisfied. The engineers are satisfied, and it's my responsibility to speak to you about what they have said. So we have decided that we will reopen the road in full width. I want really to reassure the traveling public that you can feel safe in using that road. I had discussions with Alex Jack, who is the actual owner of the property, and he was in Miami, and he has assured me that he is on the next flight to St. Vincent, and we will be holding discussions with him as to the cleanup and rebuilding of that wall.
Francis said the engineers have reassured him that the wall, which was rebuilt several years ago, was reinforced with cast concrete and can withstand the heavy rains. However, in the event that something happens, it will not affect vehicular traffic.
Even if the other portion of wall comes down, it will pose no great threat to the highway, because there's a lot of room on his driveway itself that can accommodate if that falls down. The inspection and engineers advise that the wall that collapsed is in no way structurally tied to the existing wall, so that there's no pulling and stress being put on the new wall that is at the roadside.
Francis said too that designers as well as local and regional engineers have already been consulted to advise on the rebuilding of the wall.
if there's going to be any further failure on that wall, because there's still some pieces of the wall that did not come down. But I am told that the abutments, the abutments and the columns, there's no evidence of failure on those two that are existing, but there is movement at the top of that wall. And it is our intention to have the same design team that worked on the other wall, along with our original colleagues and experts, to also design and assist the owners of the property with a proper design to rebuild that wall, so that that wall, when rebuilt, will be of equal stature to the existing wall.
In 2008, one woman was crushed to death when another portion of the wall on the main highway collapsed. The owner, working along with the government, subsequently rebuilt to specifications from a team of local and overseas engineers. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Meanwhile, the heavy rains which started last Wednesday has continued to affect residents across SVG, and the Roads, Bridges and General Services Authority BRACSA said it is carrying out emergency works in several areas, including the Grenadines. Minister of Transport Julian said BRACSA has reported that they are looking at a particular area in Windward Belmont which needs immediate attention.
BRACSA and the Forestry Department have been fully occupied all weekend, and slides started occurring as far back as Thursday, but increased on the weekend. In fact, I just saw some pictures coming down from Belmont this morning, Cecil, and I think it is a matter that we have to visit. There's a significant land movement by Edmund John up on the hill at Belmont. BRACSA just sent in those pictures this morning. It's come out into the road, but you can see in the picture that the land has moved from up in the middle of the pasture.
Residents and commuters are being asked to continue to take necessary precautions as they go about their business. Significant work must be done to prevent further environmental damage at Salt Whistle Bay on the Grenadine island of Myro. That prognosis came from the Prime Minister last Thursday to a question from the opposition on works to be done to prevent further damage to the beach there. The Prime Minister said the phenomenon being experienced there is as a result both of climate change and local activities of persons who have removed the natural sea defenses. He said this is not unique to Myro but can be seen all over SVG.
Such as the mangrove, the manchineel, the sea grape, coconut trees, and some before that moved the sea grapes, as the honorable member knows. But that is where people, and we see that all over the country. For instance, in Connery, people move sea grapes, they move the sand, they move what we call pingwing, move gravel, and with the rising sea levels and wave action, you have the removal of the sand.
He said the government is in consultation with a private sector operator to discuss solutions to the problem. He said while a short-term answer has been found, the problem requires a long-term engineering solution.
The Windward Carnage Bay is really moving towards Salt Whistle Bay and in the process having the destruction of one of our better beaches, in fact a fantastic beach. We have been, Mr. Speaker, working with a private sector operator who has the resources and equipment nearby to be able to do some remedial work. And there are all kinds of different things. There are people who suggest that technical people that what we can do as a quick fix is to put some boulders at the beach and the Windward Carnage as a kind of a mitigation against future movements. But it's really much more is required than that, and it's going to be a larger project.
This country is said to be making steady progress to transform its energy sector. This from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as he spoke at a ceremony last Friday to officially reopen the South Rivers hydropower plant following extensive refurbishment. The St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited VINLEC forked out some $20 million to refurbish the South Rivers and Richmond hydropower stations. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said the work done would increase the energy output by 25%. He said the hydroelectric plants are a crucial part of this country's electricity network in providing a clean, renewable form of energy. The Prime Minister said the government is exploring other renewable energy options, such as geothermal and solar. The Prime Minister said the aim is to have at least 80% of energy produced from renewable sources.
Providing electricity is one which this government has taken very seriously. And we are anticipating that by 2021, 80%, 80, of the electricity which we supply, will come from renewable, from hydro, from geothermal, and they start the civil works up there. Is $100 million project, and from solar.
The Prime Minister said it is important for islands like SVG to be mindful of their contribution to climate change and pay to the stark reality of what life in SVG could be if the current climate change trends continue.
If by the end of this century, I want to tell you this, if by the end of this century, the earth and what we're putting out in the atmosphere, that we are 3 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, is Economy Bay? All where I grew up, there will be water. All where I grew up, there will be seawater. Coming up to Bellevue. And more people going to come up here, go ask if they could get a lodging up as South Rivers because you're high up the hill. It's going to be a terrible thing all over the world. And life is not going to be like we know it today. But we have an obligation to help take care of our own future.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of VINLEC, Thornley Mayers, said VINLEC will continue its efforts to invest in renewable energy. He said currently VINLEC and private citizens produce around 1,600 kilowatts of energy from solar, and this is continuing to grow. The refurbished plants are expected to be more cost-effective than their diesel counterparts.
Every kilowatt of energy produced from these plants costs VINLEC approximately 20 EC cents, while that energy produced from diesel plants costs us approximately 60 cents. And I need for you to see the difference. When we use our hydro plants to produce electricity, each unit costs us approximately 20 cents. And when we use diesel, these units, same unit, costs us 60 cents. Almost 3 times the cost of hydro production. The remote operation of these plants, as a new feature, will also serve to reduce the cost of operation of these plants. The economics of this investment is a no-brainer. And as it pertains to renewable energy investment, VINLEC will continue to do so in the interest of national development.
The Ministry of Culture has a packed week of activities to celebrate the 39th anniversary of this country's political independence. Chief Cultural Officer Anthony Theobalds said there will be 2 main events tomorrow, one of which is the opening of the Vinci Expo.
Schools Rally for Independence takes place tomorrow, the 23rd of the month, and then the Everything Vinci Expo opens and will run up until Sunday. There are a number of other programs that are scheduled to occur during the course of the week, and that includes motorsports. But of course, The 27th itself, being a Saturday, has turned out to be a very, very full day.
Theobalds said that on the day of the Independence Anniversary Saturday, more than 6 activities will take place across the state simultaneously.
Day this year, of course, it will start with the military parade in the morning, but the Everything Vinci Expo will be opened. The motorcyclists who have come in for the motorsports extravaganzas are going to be doing their island ride. We have Masters Cricket. I think one of the things that people may have missed in all of what is happening is a big dance production. Renaissance Dance Company did not participate in the dance festival because their group leader is a member of staff of the Department of Culture, and so we were trying to minimize conflicts, and they are putting on their own dance production. They're bringing in a group from Grenada, so you're seeing 2 sets of dancers.
He said there are more activities in the lineup this year compared to 2017. They had advised organizers to spread their activities throughout the entire month, but this did not happen.
I've been trying to encourage people, please spread out your presentations throughout the whole of the month, because it's easier to accommodate the many activities when we bring at least a few of them earlier up. So fortunately, the University of the West Indies did their literary arts fair at the public library between the 8th and the 12th.
The annual Schools Independence Rally will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, 23rd October at the Victoria Park under the theme, Working Together to Enhance National Pride. The rally will begin at 9:30 a.m. with feature culture presentations and the presentation of the National Scholarship Awards, Exhibition Awards and bursaries. Minister of Education St. Clair Prince will deliver remarks, while the feature address will be done by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Gerard Porter, the recipient of the Prime Minister's Award, will be recognized at tomorrow's rally, and Marcelina Melville, a National Scholarship recipient, will express appreciation.